Saturday Fun Day with Connie. Today, my guest star is the amazing Allie cat here. She's being quite clingy today. Um, she won't leave my side. Let's see, we have Laura Lee that joined us. Hi, Laura Lee. How are you doing today? And what are you currently working on? And let me know if you're hearing me okay. On my last live, someone said that it sounded like I was in a tunnel. So I want to make sure that my audio's all right on today's live. I hope my microphone isn't going out on me. But I did change the USB port that I plugged it into because last time it did it that made a difference. So hopefully it makes a difference today. So you want to tell everyone hello, Allie, or are you too busy wanting to sleep? Say meow meow. Look at look. Let everyone see your pretty face. She is a baby. When she gets in her little moods, she can be such a baby. But yeah, let me know if y'all are hearing me okay. Laura Lee says, I've never seen a cat sleep like that. And she says she hears me fine and clear. Okay, good. Because I also noticed whenever I went live with the Southern Crocheters live, I noticed I sounded low on that live. So I want to make sure my audio is okay. So you've never seen a cat sleep like this. She loves hugging the shoulder. When she was a baby, she would snuggle up into my shoulder. Um, and she still kind of does that, but she don't fit like she used to. Um, and then she'll hang over like the arm of a chair like this too. And she'll go into a deep sleep and she'll fall over, poor baby. Let's see. Flo is here. Hi, Flo. How are you today? And what are you working on? Okay, you're saying my mic sounds good, not cutting out. Okay, good. Because I know sometimes they'll sound like I'm underwater or like in a tunnel or something. And like I said, my last live it did that. But it seems like whenever it does that, if I plug it into a different USB port, it seems like it cuts it out. So I don't know why it does that, but I may end up having to replace my microphone. Let's see. Laura Lee says, right now I am catching up on writing letters. I got a nice surprise letter from a friend. We are like pen pals. Aw, that's awesome. And we also have Angela, Joanne, and Melanie here. How are y'all doing and what are y'all working on? And let's see, Angela is drinking water and working on crochet pockets for her knitting needles. Okay, it looks like everyone says the audio's fine. Good. Let's see. Laura Lee says, I like getting letters the old fashioned way. Guess it's a hangover from when I was a kid. Yeah, because sometimes those things, like old school things, it's like whenever you experience it now, it's like there's something sweet about it. And, sometimes it's nice seeing something old school being done. But, let's see. We also have Kathleen and JJ that joined us. How are y'all doing and what are y'all working on? And let's see. Yes, Allie is my guest star today. JJ's working on the pocket shawl. Awesome. And Joanne's working on a crochet shawl and also pumpkins. Ooh, fall. um, a couple of things I do want to mention. If y'all get any finished projects finished. That don't make sense what I just said. If y'all finish any projects, that's it. Send me pictures so I can include them in the finished projects video that I do each month. And also, today's the last day to submit pictures of projects y'all use. Y'all use number 6 weighted yarn, and then I'm also looking for pictures of fall makes, because there's the next Southern Crocheters live that we're going to be showing pictures on. And then I plan to do 2 lives on my channel to do with fall makes. So 3 opportunities there to submit fall make pictures. Let's see, Julia's also here. How are you doing today? And what are you working on? And Melanie's telling the biscuit hi.
Hi, Melanie.
I don't know if you heard him, but he just said hi. But another thing too, I need to let y'all know. The 5 Yarnaholics, we were supposed to go live tomorrow, and unfortunately, it's not going to happen. Um, there's definitely two of the Yarnaholics that won't be able to make it, and then there's another one that might not make it. And even if she did make it, she would probably only be there a little while. She wouldn't be there the whole live. So we felt like it was best just not to do the Yarnaholics live this month, and hopefully everything works out for us to do it in September. We're gonna aim for either the 3rd or 4th Sunday of September. So that's what's going on with that. I was like, and it's funny because I had this bad feeling it was going to end up not happening after we rescheduled it. I just had this feeling, but life happens, and there's 5 of us, so it's kind of more difficult to work around all of our schedules. Um, it's like whenever you get down to like just 2 of us, it's kind of, because we'll still do the lives usually if it's only like 1 or 2 of us out, but it's just bad timing right now for everyone. Let's see. JJ says it's actually a pocket scarf. Also, yeah, I love the pocket scarves and shawls. Laura Lee says I'm knitting a baby blanket in a 5 or 6 weight and a crochet one. I have so many whips. Yeah, I'm probably gonna start having some extra whips going too. More than I already have. But anyway, oh, I'm losing my concentration today. I'm sorry. All right. Today I'm gonna be telling y'all about some fun things to do in Walmart. And this is just for entertainment purposes. Do not do any of these things. I am not recommending doing them. but it's funny though. First thing you can do is take shopping carts for the express purpose of filling them and straining them at strategic locations in Walmart. Second, and I think this one's funny, but nowadays, like, I don't even think Walmart has this that much anymore. And I think when they do, what they do have, I think they keep it locked up now. But you can go and set the alarm clocks to go off at 10-minute intervals throughout the day. Could you imagine that? But yeah, and this list was made like a long time ago, so some things aren't really like how they are today. Another thing you can do, and this is something I have actually done. You walk up to complete strangers and say, "Hi, I haven't seen you in so long," etc., and see if they play along to avoid embarrassment. And one time I was at Walmart and I was sitting in Subway, me and Frank, and the subway's like in front of the registers, right by the front door area. So after you check out, you gotta pass by Subway. So everybody that was passing, I was like, "Hi, how you doing?" Or "Hi, how have you been?" Or "Long, yeah, it's been a long time." And you would either have those that would play along with it, or you would see them with that look on their face. It's like, where do I know this person? You could tell like they were confused. Or and then what happened was Frank was saying to me, "What are you going to do if someone asks you how they know you?" And like within 5 minutes, someone did ask me, and here's Frank just kind of like laughing. Um, but I did have a save. Um, I just told them that, "Oh, I'm sorry, I mistook you for another person." All right. So next up, and this is something that the only time that you have the layaway is Christmas time, and I don't think you can put any food items on layaway. But put try putting M&Ms on layaway. Another thing you could do is set up a valet parking sign in front of the store. Next is hold indoor shopping cart races. Um, Another fun thing to do is redress the mannequins as you see fit. Or you could go relax in the patio furniture until you get kicked out. Next is ride a display bicycle through the store. Claim you're taking it for a test drive. And really, whenever I bought my bike from Walmart, I kind of did, ride my bike in the store, but it was like by the bicycle area just to make sure, you know, I liked how the bike rode. So I kind of did test drive it. And last thing I have is put random things in other people's courts. And for that one, I have seen videos on YouTube where this guy that tends to do like joke videos, he whenever the person wasn't looking, he would be putting like random things in their buggy, and then all of a sudden they would notice and they were like, "How did this get in my buggy?" Um, but yeah, and again, I do want to emphasize that was just for entertainment. Do not go do those things, except for maybe telling people hello. That's really harmless. All right, let's see. We have Samantha that joined us and Anita. How are y'all doing? And what are y'all working on? But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed the list of things to do though. Let's see. Laura Lee says fall time and getting kids ready for school or getting yourself ready to go. Busy time of the year. Yeah. Laura Lee saying, "Oh my goodness." Let's see, where was I? Laura Lee says, "I'll definitely not participate. I'm more of a serious person." Lisa's here. Lisa the Grammy. How are you doing today? And what are you working on? And she says, "I always get people trying to take stuff from my cart." And really, that was one thing that they were saying. Like, there's a bunch of different things. Like, the list I went to had like over 100 fun things to do. But one of them actually did say to take other people's buggies. Um, but again, I don't recommend doing that. And especially if they have like their purse in the buggy. Definitely don't do it then. Um, let's see, we have Sid that joined us. Hi, Sid. How are you doing today? And she's working on a new knitted beanie hat. Awesome. Yeah, Anita, I'm corrupting minds today. But like I said, don't do those things. I mean that list, it it shouldn't be anything that would get anybody in serious trouble, but a few of those things might get you banned from Walmart. But some of the stuff on the actual list um would probably get some people in serious trouble though. Like, if you saw the whole list of things. But I tried to pick things that I thought was pretty safe. Ah, she's sticking her claws in again. Alrighty. Where's my other paper? But I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to tell y'all about. Like I said, I mentioned earlier, the Yarnaholics won't be going live tomorrow. Um, hopefully it will happen next month. We're aiming for either the third or fourth week of September. But yeah, this baby's distracting me. She's out. And like last night, she scared me because like she was sleeping and she was sleeping really hard. And I go to try to, move her and she's not budging at all. And I got like really worried. I'm like, okay, Allie, are you okay? And then she finally, woke up. But yeah, mommy don't want nothing bad to happen to you. She's a little mess. Let's see. Let's see. So the first question I have for y'all today is what is your favorite thing to crochet or knit? For me, it's shawls is my favorite thing overall. I just always think shawls are beautiful. And then a very close second would be beanies. I like fun beanies. And I also like socks. I like knitting socks. But those are typically the main things I tend to make. Let's see. Lisa's saying blankets also. And with me, blankets, I think they're beautiful, but I kind of got burned out on blankets. And I haven't really had the desire to work on a blanket in quite a while. So, and I have 2 blankets I still need to finish. Let's see, Joanne likes to crochet graph gans. Yeah, those are beautiful. And that's actually something that I do want to do eventually. But I hope eventually I get my Crojo back for making blankets. Let's see. Okay. Laura Lee's talking to Anita. Okay. But yeah, but and another thing, I did like making gloves. I did like that. And let's see, Laura Lee says she likes to do blanket or shawls. Awesome. Sid says for crochet shawls, knit socks or beanies. Yeah, for the most part it's the same for crochet and knitting for me. But like socks, well, I haven't done them yet in crochet, but when it comes to socks, that's a knit thing for me. And I think I prefer the look of knitted socks than crochet socks. Yeah. What? Let everybody see you. You're hiding from everyone. Let's see. Lisa says she's made so many different blankets for people. I like to try new patterns. Yeah, and I'm the same way. I like to try different patterns. I don't care to do the same pattern more than once. Let's see. Anita says she likes to crochet anything but blankets. Yeah, the bad thing with blankets are they're time consuming, and you get to where because it takes so long, you don't feel like you've accomplished anything. Let's see. JJ says her husband wants her to make a double bed blanket or bedspread. She's not sure if she can. Huge project. Yeah, one of the blankets that I'm working on is more like a bedspread. It's going to be a big blanket once I actually finish it. I don't know how long it'll take me. It'll probably take me years to get it finished. Um, but yeah, that one will be beautiful if I ever get it finished because I'm doing a lot of different textured stitches. Oh, and speaking of stitches, most of y'all probably noticed that I did a tutorial on the arrow stitch this past week, and I'm really trying to do a tutorial pretty much every week. Some tutorials will be crochet, some will be knit. So if y'all have requests for tutorials, send me an email and let me know what you would like to see tutorials on. Um, and I mentioned this in my last live. One thing I want to try to work on after I finish the shawl that I'm doing, I'm wanting to try to do a tutorial on corner to corner, and I plan to do a scarf when I do that tutorial. And I want to do like Halloween colors. So that's something that I do want to try to work on. And I still need to finish that striped knitted beanie tutorial. Sometimes, especially like projects, those take me a good while to do those tutorials. I'm not the quickest at tutorials, but let's see. Laura Lee says it takes her a long time to get an amigurumi done. I could have made half a blanket. And what's funny, like for me, the amigurumis I've done so far, I tend to get those finished pretty quickly. Um, but it's funny, like how like certain things, like we're so different, you know. Like some of us prefer one thing over another. You know, sometimes people are quicker doing one thing over another. All right. So the next question I have is, what are your favorite colors to crochet or knit with? For me, my favorites tend to be like blues, pinks, purples. Um, but I mean, I do like other colors too. Sometimes it depends on what other colors they're combined with. Um, because like overall, I'm really not huge on like orange and yellow. But if you combine it with the right colors, it can be so beautiful. Like especially like you get like the multiple fall type colors with or the kind of bright summery, especially hand dyed yarns. I find a lot of them are gorgeous, even though it's a color that like I wouldn't go make like a plain orange shawl typically, but you get that right color combination and it may be gorgeous. But yeah, that's one thing I find when it comes to different yarns. Ow. It's like she adjusts and she digs her claws into me. Let's see. Anita says she's definitely going to watch my arrow stitch tutorial. She's so behind on videos. Ooh, I'm glad you're gonna watch it. Yeah, I love the arrow stitch. And we have Charity that joined us. Hi, Charity. How are you doing today? And what are you working on? And Melanie says, I was working on socks. I had to take the other ones apart. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you had to frog. Frogging is the worst. Let's see. Laura Lee says lavenders pale lime greens, light blue. She doesn't like orange, but she has some beautiful variegated orange that she loves. Like I was saying, it's funny how you combine the right colors with a color that you're not typically big on, and it can be gorgeous. Sid says mainly neutral colors. Joanne likes tweeds of all colors. And Anita says, I love working with all colors. Oh no, Melanie. I hope you feel better soon. And hopefully y'all don't have it too bad. Let's see. Lisa says blues are my favorite, but I use all colors because they are for other people. And Laura Lee says I've done a sock to the heel, then stuffed it in a bag. And we also have Angela that joined us. So we have two Angelas here today. How are you doing and what are you working on? Okay. I'm going to have to try to put her down. Hold up. But she'll probably end up coming back. You see? You see how she's doing? She doesn't want to leave. Oh, well, I guess I'm not going to be able to put her down. Let's see. JJ says blues, but I like all colors too. Okay. All right. So next question I have for y'all is, have you ever designed your own pattern? And if so, what have you designed? For me, y'all know most of y'all know that I've designed patterns. I typically do knitted color work beanies the most. I've had fun doing holiday ones, and really I need to start back up trying to make some holiday beanies. But I did do one scarf pattern, and also, yeah, I think all the others are beanies that I've released. Yeah, I have a thing for color work. Let's see. Charity says, I am working on getting over the big C. This is day 3, and I feel like I got hit by a truck. Well, I hope you feel better soon, too. But one thing when it comes to COVID, pay attention to your symptoms. Because if you start like having trouble breathing and stuff like that, go to the, I really would recommend go to the emergency room over the doctor. I don't know, maybe some areas the doctors treat it better. But I know like when Frank had COVID, he went to the doctor twice. And they didn't do much of anything. And then he went, he kept feeling worse and he went to the emergency room. He had COVID pneumonia. So, be careful when it comes to COVID. And it's like when it comes to COVID, that's a yucky virus. It really is. And don't be surprised too if you don't have energy for a while. Because I think it took me about a month for my energy to come back. And let's see, Lisa is working on another whatchamacallit Afghan now. Ooh. And Angela is working on headbands for her granddaughter. Yeah, I've made some headbands. It's been a while since I've made any. And let's see, Melanie says, I love browns, naturals. I like using the color the person liked if it's for someone else. I love purple raspberry color. Ooh. Let's see. Laura Lee says, I have made up crochet things, but it's such a headache to try and write it down. Yeah, now sometimes, you're still technically designing even if you don't write out a pattern. because some of us will just kind of do our own thing with, let's see, Lisa says blankets. I used to always just wing it. I only started using patterns in the last year. And one thing too, I find when it comes to blankets, it's really, that is something that's easy to learn a stitch and just do that stitch and make a blanket. Let's see. Sid says, yes, boot cuffs, headband, a shawl, working on a new shawl pattern and beanie pattern. Awesome. And we have Sawaro here. How are you doing? And what are you working on? And she thinks little Allie here is beautiful. Yeah, and Allie was also in the 2 videos I posted yesterday, my Knitting Friday and my shout out video. Let's see. Lisa says when she was a kid, she used to crochet clothes for her Barbie dolls. And when you bring that up, that kind of was my very first introduction to a yarn craft, because I had this little Barbie doll like loom that I would make some dresses for my Barbie dolls with the loom. And let's see, Anita says I have designed hats, dolls, bears, a gnome, headscarves, and afghans. Ooh. And Angela says I have tried to design my own patterns, but I have problems doing them. Yeah, like, you see, I find for me when I design patterns, like certain things I can do and other things, like if I was trying to do like an amigurumi, I'm not referring to gnomes, but like other types of amigurumi, I really have no clue how to go about it. But then like Crystal, the Yorny Chicken and Crazy Cat lady, it's like she can make design amigurumis like that. But I don't know, maybe someday I'll get there, but all right. So my next question I have is, other than Ravelry and YouTube, because I know that's where most of us get our patterns from, are there any other sites or maybe books that you go to for patterns? For me, one site, well, there's 2 sites that I really like. And they tend to have a lot of holiday patterns. I love the Crafter's Life. And then there's also what you call it, repeat Crafter Me. I love their patterns, and sometimes I will come across other sites that I like a lot of the patterns. Those are the only 2 that I can think of offhand. But I love searching for patterns. And there's so many amazing patterns out there. There really are. Let's see. Anita says, I think basic beanies are the easiest thing to start designing with. Yeah, that's what I started with, was beanies. And Angela says, I check my books out from my local library. And speaking of libraries, one thing that some of y'all may not know, that a lot of libraries, they may not have a certain book, but a lot of times if you request a book, they'll try to get it for you from a different library. Because I've done that quite a few times at my local library. And let's see, Sawaro says, I'm working on 2 different blankets. 2 blankets are knitted and the other one is crocheted. Both blankets are bright and one is southwestern colors. Ooh. And Sid says, Pinterest, I can spend hours looking at patterns. Yeah, for me, I tend to spend my time a lot on Ravelry. That's where I get, a lot of the patterns that I share, which I do have patterns to share with y'all today. We have Sherry that joined us. Hi, Sherry. How are you and what are you working on? And she says most of the yarn sites have free patterns you can print or save the PDF. Yeah. Or sometimes another thing I'll do, like, you know how Ravelry sometimes will direct you to a website for the pattern? A lot of times, I'll start searching on that website to see if they have anything else that I like. And Anita says Pinterest and Etsy. Yeah, when it comes to like paid for patterns, I love the patterns you tend to find on Etsy. And there's a lot of cute gnome patterns on Etsy. Let's see. Laura Lee says, I want to make a Southwestern design blanket for a friend. Awesome. And Sherry says, Lion Brand, Premier, Hirschner's, most of them and lots are free. Yeah, that is one thing. A lot of the yarn companies have patterns on their sites. And let's see. Okay, I am quite up. But yeah, I love digging for patterns. I really do. Granted, I'll never get these patterns done in my lifetime, all of them, but it's still fun to do so. You out, huh, Allie? People want to hear you meow today. Oh, and there's one thing too. On my videos yesterday, Allie was meowing. Y'all can hear her meow. Let's see. Sherry says, I can spend many hours pattern searching. It's like I used to search for recipes. Yep, recipes. I was the same way, always searching for recipe books. Let's see. Laura Lee says, I bought some grid paper to figure out the Southwestern design when I get the other two blankets done. And Charity says, I have a baby blanket pattern that I am working on. Just finished the scarf pattern and I'm working on a shawl pattern that I made. Ooh, awesome. Awesome. And one thing too, I want to make sure that y'all know, those that have channels, on my live, if you type the word drop in the chat, it will automatically drop your channel link, which I find is a lot easier than, having to have moderators drop links now. But yeah, and also for those with channels, if y'all want a shout out, all y'all have to do is just ask. Sometimes I'll put it on my community page, and then I do my shout out videos, which my shout out videos typically I try to do one every 2 weeks, but I'm not always the best at getting them out every 2 weeks. So sometimes it takes me longer to do one. But yeah, if y'all ever want shout outs, just ask. If y'all have giveaways or other things going on y'all channel that y'all want to get the word out, let me know and I can share it on my community page. And on top of that, like on my community page, sometimes I'll share patterns for video tutorials and stuff. So sometimes I share stuff like that there. So and any channel announcements I tend to put on my community page too. Let's see. Anita says, I haven't got brave enough to try designing a shawl yet. Yeah, I actually did one shawl, but I still haven't written the pattern up. I wrote notes of everything I did. So I know what I did, but I haven't gotten around to writing it up. Let's see. Saguaro says, I love this yarn. color 406 Dakota. I'm doing it as a knitted corner to corner blanket with a reverse yarn over. Ooh, cool. And let's see. Laura Lee says she did design my own shawl, and she sent the picture to me. I'm trying to remember. How long ago did you send the picture? It's like I've gotten so many pictures, I can't always remember what's what when it comes to pictures. Let's see. Yeah, and is it one that I've shown on a video? Because if you said it, I should have shown it by now. And Sherry says, that would be like me trying to make amigurumi too small. And we also have Chris that joined us. Hi, Chris. How are you today, and what are you working on? Angela's asking, does anyone have a dolly pattern? Okay, when it comes to doilies, I had like about within the last 2 months, I did a live where I was talking about zero weighted yarn and cotton thread 10, and I shared a lot of doily patterns on that live, and all the links are in the description box. If one of my moderators are here, if they could try to find that live and post a link for it, that would be awesome. It's my just another Monday live, and the topic was zero weighted yarn. But yeah, that one, and I may have had a few whenever I did number one weighted yarn, but I know definitely zero weighted. There was a lot of doilies. And let's see. Oh yeah, and I think I posted some on my community page too, but you'll probably have to go back quite a bit to get to those. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna have to try to search to see if I can find your shawl, because like based on what video it went in, I make folders on my computer. Like one will be like, August finished projects video, then like September. So it could be in quite a few different folders. So I'd have to do more digging to really try to find it. Or like if I like number one weighted yarn, I have a folder, number two, all that. Let's see. Laura Lee says, I have so many doily patterns that are in the old magazine work basket. And another place you can find doily patterns is Ravelry. Just type in doily. And then you also have filters you can use if you want something kind of more specific, like a certain yarn weight or that type of thing. And let's see. Chris says they're doing well on her on my ninth grade. I am on my ninth grade ninth granny square from the 100 Crochet Tiles book. Okay, now I got it. I was getting kind of tongue tied on that. And let's see. Sherry says, I am working on many craft fair items: towels, towel rings, ice drink covers, fleece receiving blankets with crochet borders, scrubbies. I always have at least 10 things going on at once. See, I try not to have too much going on at a time. Especially whenever I first started knitting and crocheting, I wouldn't allow myself to have more than one whip at a time. Now I do have more, um, but I try to make a point that I finish what I start. Now, my blankets are the only ones that really haven't gone in that direction, but I do eventually plan to get those finished. It may take me 5 years, but let's see. Where was I? Oh, you're welcome, Angela. And that's one thing too, like, if you're looking for like certain types of patterns or something, y'all can email me and I'll see what I can do to find patterns for that. Or sometimes I could put, when I share patterns on my lives, I can share them there. But yeah, I mean, anything that I can help y'all with, I try to do my best. Like if y'all have questions about something crochet knitting related, you know, ask. Now sometimes I may not always know the answer, but I try to find like tutorials that should be able to help you. Let's see. Where was I? Yeah, here's the link for the live where I shared a bunch of doily patterns. And then I also shared other patterns too on this live that are all it's all patterns using number one weighted yarn that I shared. Chris says, "Sorry, my voice to text is crazy." Yeah, and it's funny. Like autocorrect is another thing that tends to happen in comments. Oh, you did it, Laura Lee. Ah, awesome. So I'm taking you. You must have just emailed it to me. Let's see. No, no, I don't see any emails. Let's see. Sherry says, I think I get bored too easy. I don't do blankets too often for that reason. Yeah, that's what I find when it comes to blankets. Um, I find I get bored with them. Too much of the same thing. All right, let's see. Oh, Anita's planning to do a tree of life with the yarn that she got from charity. Ooh, nice. All right. So my next question I have for everyone is, do y'all have a furry yarn helper that helps y'all when y'all crochet or knit? And if so, how do they help you? Where this little girl loves to keep me from crocheting and knitting, and even Sophie does it too at times. They'll come jump on me and they want to be like on me where I can't knit or crochet around them. And now when they were younger, they would play with the yarn more. But now at most, now Sophie sometimes will try to put my yarn in her mouth, which I do not like when she does that. But that's pretty much all that my cats do. You gonna wake up for everyone? Let's see. Okay, Lisa saying Laura Lee dropped a link. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, you're referring to the live that I was mentioning. Okay, yeah, I got that now. And Laura Lee says, I like the blankets that change stitch designs about every 5 to 10 rows, less boring. Yeah, that is true. Oh yeah, Nita. Send your pictures when you're done. with the tree of life. Chris says, my cat tries to eat my yarn. Yeah, they have a thing for yarn. Yarn boxes. They love their boxes. Okay. Laura Lee says, my small old pup lays on my knees, and the heat from his body helps the pain. Oh, that's sweet. Now, I find usually whenever like my cats are on me, I get hot. And like their fur starts to get to me too. And I was laughing. After I filmed my videos yesterday, I could see the cat fur from Allie on my shirt. I was like, oh, Allie. And she's probably put fur on me already. Let's see. We have Lori that joined us. Hi, Lori. How are you today? And what are you working on? Lisa says her old dog just interrupts all day long, wanting to be taken out. And Charity says her fur baby is outside. Miss Bandette is an outside cat. See, both my cats are indoor cats. But Sophie especially really loves to watch outside. And she has snuck out a couple of times. And the bad thing is that one time that she snuck out, she was gone for 2 months. I didn't think she was coming back. And then all of a sudden, one day, she came back. Let's see. Anita says, nope, my babies are all outside, except when it's really hot and I'll let the bunnies in. I don't even let the other humans around my yarn. I want to go play with your animals, Anita. I would have too much fun. And let's see, Lori says she's finishing up a shawl today, and her fur babies are dogs, and they only get up on me when invited. My service dog gets up on me when she needs to alert me. Now when she gets in her clingy phases, she takes anything and everything as an invitation. And like if I make eye contact with her, she'll come running back to me. She's something else. And in a couple of weeks, she'll be all aloof. And it's funny because like I know I've had some people think that I've exaggerated with things that Allie does with her moodiness. And it's like I am not exaggerating with her. I am not. She is one moody little cat. Let's see. Anita says she needs to send a picture of her second Lost Soul shawl that she got done. I didn't put a hood on this one. Yes, send the pictures. I love seeing y'all makes. Let's see. Lori saying no, my response to the word up and down. Let's see. Okay. Talking about the dogs. Alrighty. My next question I have is, do you do anything special to take care of your hands or your wrist when it comes to crochet and knitting? For me, if I start getting hand cramps, I tend to do like hand exercises. And it does help some. But that's really the only thing I do. But I find like the hand cramps happen to me more when I first learned how to knit, when I first learned how to crochet. Now when I did my first temperature blanket, I would get hand cramps, and whenever I did my first pair of socks. which I think the reason I got the hand cramps was that was my first time using number one weighted yarn. But that's when I've gotten, you know, had issues. And I think I've heard someone was saying something about, I think they have like a certain type of glove that they wear that helps them. So yeah, let us know what you do to help protect your hands and wrists. Oh, and of course another thing too, the the how do you, I always struggle saying it. The ergonomical crochet hooks. Um, those I find help too. Lori says I sleep with arthritis gloves on every night, and I use a Aveeno eczema therapy hand cream. Awesome. See, I hadn't heard about the cream, but I've heard about gloves. And Laura Lee says I made the fantasy blanket by Anna Beatriz Contreras. It changed stitches and colors frequently. I think I have the site if anyone is interested. It was fun, and she gave it away. Yeah, if you want to post the link, you can, Laura Lee. Let's see if she'll let me put her down now. Come on, Allie. I need a break. I need a break, Allie. Look, say hi to everyone. But she'll probably come right back to me. That's what she was doing to me earlier. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and share some patterns with y'all. And based on the time, I may ask some more questions. And at the end, I'm going to do a pattern giveaway. But I'm not just going to give away one of my patterns to the winner. I'm going to give away all of my patterns to whoever wins today. So yeah, look forward to that. Like, she's already back up here. Y'all can't see her, but she's right in front of me. All right, so let me pull up those patterns. And these are all free crochet patterns. And all the links for these patterns are in the description box of today's live. And let me know if y'all can tell that I'm ready for fall. All right, so this one is called Hello Pumpkin Pillow by Brianna K Designs. And I think this is so cute. It says Hello Pumpkin. But yeah, I have gone very deep down the rabbit hole for fall patterns. But yeah, I love this pillow. All right, let's get to the next one. This one is a slouchy pumpkin beret by Ellen Aria. And I love berets. I don't know. I kind of like the look of hats that are kind of like different. But yeah, and I love how it has the little stem. I know this is one I may have to try to make. But unfortunately, I have so many fall things that I want to make. So I don't know what I'm going to get around to making this year. All right, next is Pumpkin Earrings by Lauren Kovor. And I think this is really cute. But the one thing that I question is how heavy these earrings would be. But I do think they're adorable. All right. And next, this is Amigurumi Scarecrow, Cat, and Crow by the Enchanted Ladybug. And I think this is too cute. And most of y'all know I love cats. But this is one that I would love to make too. I just think it's too cute. And you see in here, they have it in a different color, which I like that. And they kind of changed it up. And here it is brown. Too cute. Oh, here's one in white. Oh, I like that. So yeah, you can decorate this kitty up for different holidays. All right, next is Easy Scarecrow Doll Pattern by Lindsay Dale. And I think this is cute too. Too cute. And I did more patterns than usual for today's live. I kept finding too many cute ones. All right, let's see. This pattern is called Pumpkins by Crochet 365 Knit 2. And I love these. And I love the little pumpkins. That's another thing I want to make is some pumpkins. And there's so many different little pumpkin amigurumi patterns. Now one thing I am curious, do y'all want me to share more pumpkin patterns similar to these? Or or have or do y'all feel like I've shared enough of them already? Because like I said, there's a bunch of different, where they're a little different and stuff. But yeah, I think it's so cute. And I love the little stringy thing that goes down it. So cute. Okay, next, and I'm thinking, I felt like this was something kind of different, and I it's something that I don't really think about to look up patterns for this, but it came up whenever I was searching for fall stuff. This is an acorn apron by Agnes Russell. And look, I wish they had a better picture, but that's really the only picture that they have. But I love that idea, like the seasonal apron. All right. And the last free pattern is called All the Acorns Basket by Divine Debris. And this one's cute. And this is similar to that basket pattern that I shared previously with the pumpkins on it. So cute. Okay. And one thing I did want to ask too, typically like on my lives on Thursdays and Saturdays, I've always shared just free patterns on those lives. Now, my Monday lives where I do the educational informative, I tend to do some that are free and some that are paid for. Um, so when it comes to my lives on Thursday and Saturdays, Do y'all want me to keep it where it's just free patterns, or would y'all like me to share some paid for patterns too? Now I do have a pattern that I'm going to show right now. That this one is a paid pattern, and but I really love it. And I think last year there was a challenge that was going on with this blanket, but I fell in love with this one. This is a corner to corner pumpkin patch blanket by Eclair Makery. And look at how beautiful. And this is one that I want to get this pattern eventually and make this blanket. And initially I was wanting to try to do it this year, but like I said, I'm burnt out on blankets right now. But don't y'all love this one? And this pattern is $5.99. Now it does look like if you use the code pumpkin, which is all capitalized, that you should get 25% off. Um, so if anyone decides to purchase this pattern, check to make sure if you get that discount, because I don't know if that's something that's old that they just never removed. But yeah, and those are the patterns that I have for today. And again, they're all listed in the description box of today's live. Let's see. Let's see what everyone's saying. I'm trying to find my spot in the chat. Okay. Okay, this is where I left off. Sherry says, I think a lot of the ergonomic hooks are harder to work with when you are a pencil holder. My go-to hook is the Susan Bates with the rubber handle. Yeah, and that's one thing. Everyone has different preferences when it comes to crochet hooks. We're all different. Let's see. Laura Lee says, I use a paraffin bath for my hands. It's like a slow cooker with warm wax. It's wonderful for arthritis pain. Ooh. Yeah. So for the only arthritis that I know of that I have is in my back. But it is always possible I may have it in other areas too. But let's see. Charity says, I don't usually have problems with my hands and wrists, but I do have to stop and do neck exercises because I get pinched nerves in my neck. Ooh. Let's see. Lisa says, I keep lotion on my desk for when my hands get dry. And sometimes I have to use compression gloves when my hands start to hurt. See, I have compression gloves, but I use mine because my hands tend to get cold easily. My hands and feet tend to. Ooh, Anita says she has neck problems too. She broke hers years ago. Ouch. Okay, looks like y'all think a lot of the patterns were cute. Um, yeah, that does kind of look like a beefsteak tomato sherry. And Anita, all the patterns that I shared today were crochet. And all of them were free except for that last blanket that I showed. That fall blanket, that one's a paid for pattern. And even Joanne says those earrings look heavy. Yeah, but certain things with the earrings, I do, I'm kind of like, that looks heavy. Sherry says, those are cute. I don't think they would be heavy. They probably are made with number 2 yarn. Yeah, that is one thing I do kind of wonder, or like maybe number 1 weighted yarn, which wouldn't be as heavy. But I don't know. From the picture, they still look heavy. And Joanne likes to crow. Dorothea says she loves making bunnies with multiple outfits for her granddaughters. And I'm trying to remember if I greeted you, Dorothea. I don't think I did. But how are you today and what are you working on? Oh, Angela's obsessed. Okay, Joanne says she wants me to share more of the pumpkin amigurumis. And so does Lisa. Yeah. So the only reason why I started questioning that is because a lot of the patterns for the little amigurumi pumpkins, a lot of them are very similar. But then there are some that do really make them unique because, like, sometimes the texture of the stitch or the colors they use, like, I love like the plaid one. I think that's cute. So there are some levels where they look kind of similar, but some of them are really more different looking. Let's see. Sherry likes the basket. And Dorothea says she likes the free patterns mainly. And Lori says both free and paid for would be great, but not real expensive paid for patterns. I typically gravitate more towards free patterns. Now, like I said, on the educational live, since I share a lot of patterns on the Monday lives, I typically do both. And I do, and some of them are, I kind of do it like half and half. And then half the patterns are crochet, half the patterns are knitted. That way, y'all have options, like what Lisa says. Okay, Anita likes both. Okay. Angela loves the free patterns. I know I love those old trucks too, Charity. Sherry says that is a nice blanket, but I wouldn't want to make a blanket in the summer. Yeah. Blankets in the summer are hot. Ooh. Laura shared the link for the fantasy blanket. See, I wish I could see it. Because like from StreamYard, I can't even copy paste the link. But what's bad is after the live's finish, the comments tend not to appear. It usually takes about a day for the comments to appear after the live's finished, which I don't know why it works like that. I wish they would show right away. You're welcome, Joanne. Laura Lee's like, what's with the broken necks? I broke mine too. A horse came down on top of me. Wow. I agree with you, Laura Lee. I wouldn't expect 3 people to have broken their necks. And let's see, Lori says, also you can stuff the pumpkins on the earrings with the little pellets instead of filling it. Would make them lighter. Okay, I didn't think about that. Anita says hers was from a car wreck. Got rear-ended by a big truck. Ouch. And actually Frank's brother just got into an accident. He's a truck driver and a car behind him hit him. And Frank's brother was saying this person must have been doing like 100 miles per hour because he felt it. And it did jerk his rig a little. Where a lot of times, like truck drivers in a rig, if you hit them from behind, a lot of times they don't even know. So, but he could tell. I mean, he would. He didn't get injured, but I think the person that hit him had to go to the hospital. But yeah, with the big trucks, you got to be careful with them. And that goes both ways. The truck drivers have to be safe, and when you're on the road and you're around a big truck, you know, be safe around them. Because always remember, rigs cannot stop like a core can. It takes them a lot longer to stop. Because I know when Frank was a truck driver, a core changed lanes in front of him right at a light, and the light, turned red. And Frank went to brake, and he was like that close to hitting the vehicle. Um, and I know like my seat jerked. So yeah, be careful with rigs. Let's see. Lori says, I'm trying to go down a historic rabbit hole with my crochet and find historical 1800s crochet like shawl pattern from my historic reenactment group. Ooh, interesting. Um, I don't know. I mean, you might be able to search maybe Victorian, maybe, or maybe 1800s. I'm trying to think of ways that you could search specifically for that type. Hmm. Or maybe even putting historic shawls. Maybe I'm not really sure. Oh, Laura Lee wants to go to your house, Anita. Let's see. Okay, now we have 4 broken necks. Lori was a gymnast and fractured her C3. Well, that's something. And I hope all of y'all like healed, you know, where y'all not like suffering too much pain or anything from y'all broken necks. Let's see. We have Cindy in the house. How are you doing today, Cindy? And what are you working on? And Anita saying everyone is welcome here, just down to earth. And I tell you, bathrooms are that way, and the fridge is in the kitchen if you want something to drink. And Sherry saying, I don't think people realize that motorcycles can't stop like a car can either. I didn't know that. But I do know, like, being on a motorcycle is more dangerous than in a regular vehicle. And I remember when I was in the Navy, there was a girl that got in an accident on a motorcycle. And she said, good thing she was wearing her helmet because, and I think as it is, her face got, because I think she kind of had like, she had a helmet on, but it was kind of the open style. Oh, okay. Laura Lee says she has some old patterns, probably 1900 to 1910. They may be made after earlier ones. I can look for one. Ooh. See, and that's one thing too I love about lives because we can discuss things and like we all help each other out, which I love that. And Cindy's saying, I never knew that Lori was a gymnast. I used to practice being a gymnast, but never good enough for professional. I did, however, love it and went into cheerleading. Ooh, awesome. See, like whenever I was a kid, I loved doing like flips and stuff. But I was never in gymnastics. I would have loved to have been in gymnastics. But it does make me wonder if I had proper training, if I would have been, pretty good at it or but yeah, it's like I do the court wheels, round offs, the the front flip, where your hands hit the ground, and also the back one. Now, I did try to learn how to do a no-handed flip, the forward, but I never could get the landing. I would always, my butt would always hit the ground. Now one time I did almost get the landing, but I was still too, really low to the ground. Okay, Lori says I healed enough to join the Navy 6 years later. Okay, that's good. Hey, we're Navy buddies. So when were you in the Navy? I joined in '93. I think it was '96 that I got out, something like that. Cindy saying my cat is so cute. She's like right here. Like, here's my hand. She's like right below my hand. She does not want to leave my side. Laura Lee says, I get an electric shock down my spine if I put my head down too far, so I don't do it. Ouch. Sherry says, I saw a motorcycle accident. Poor guy was right in front of me. I was his witness. Ooh. No, I know one time, like this car, for some reason, had to back up. And they didn't pay attention to what was behind them. And sure enough, he backed into another vehicle. It was like, oh no. Let's see, Cindy saying old patterns. Oh, there's Sophie. Sophie just meowed. I don't know if y'all heard it. But I think Sophie's starting to cry for me because Allie won't leave my side. So Sophie isn't able to get as much attention from me because those two together don't work. Because Allie is not nice to Sophie. Huh. And I really don't understand like how Allie is like that. Because Sophie is a sweet cat. And like Sophie, most of the time she's just going from point A to point B. And she passes by Allie. Allie will hiss or growl at her. And like I said, Sophie's a very sweet cat. But Allie's she's too territorial and she's too jealous. But my cats are crazy. Let's see. Lori says that I was in the Navy after her. She joined in '89. Sherry says Lion Brand has a crochet book of patterns from 1916 on clearance for $4.97. I bought it when it was $10, and the patterns are beautiful and very intricate. Ooh. Now, what happened with me, Cindy? The reason that I got out of the Navy early, I had trouble staying in weight standards. I've always struggled with my weight. But like in the Navy, because even like joining the Navy, I had to kind of lose a little weight. But it was hard for me to stay in the standards. And I've struggled with my weight most of my adult life. I have lost weight so many times. And especially now, part of my issue is I have fluid retention problems. And for all I know, that may have been some of my issue back in the day too. But I I retain fluid so easily. But that stuff happens. Let's see. Anita saying, yes, sweet Sophie. Let's see. Dorcia says, I too have a C curve in my neck instead of an S shape due to whiplash from accident. Aw. Laura says, she bets Frank gives Sophie extra love. He does give her attention, but I tend to give the cats more attention. Um, and most of the time the cats gravitate towards me more. Now sometimes they do want Frank. I know, my poor Sophie Wolfie. Let's see. And Lori's saying the Navy weight standard for women is ridiculously low. When she joined, she was 125, and that was not low enough. And it is, because I mean, I even look back at like my pictures, and I'm like, you know, I really wasn't big, but the weight standards are strict. Um, and you know, I just was never able to stay in standards, because I would get out of standards, then I would get back in standards, and then fall out again. Let's see, we have Melanie that joined us. How are you doing today? And what are you currently working on? And Laura Lee says Dana at Dana's Wonderless Crochet has a site where you can find old magazines and patterns online. It's like a library. Ooh, I may have to check that out. And Cindy says, I truly understand that weight issues. I have struggled at least half my life now with weight issues. And and it is like, I've struggled with weight issues. And I mean, and I've had it where I lost like a lot of weight. Um, but it usually finds a way to come back. And then with my fluid retention problems, and this shows you how bad I have fluid retention issues. When I had gotten hospitalized, they pumped out like 70 pounds of fluid from me. So like I said, I retain fluid a lot. Let's see. Sherry says, I hear you on the weight issue. Lose to regain. I even had gastric bypass in 2003. Now my body is a mess. Degenerative disc disease, osteoporosis, both byproducts of gastric bypass. And that's the other thing. Like a lot of times, usually people that lose weight, usually within 5 years, they put that weight back on. Not many people lose a lot of weight, and really probably weight in general, even if it's like 5 or 10 pounds, and keep it off long term, like really long term. Let's see. Lori said, when I got out of the Navy, my doctor did a full metabolic workup on me, and he said I was malnourished. Ooh. See, I know. At one point they they tested my thyroid, and one thing I was like just barely out of tolerance, and then they tested something else, but I never actually, like that's around the time that I got out of the Navy, but so I never actually found out the results. But I have had my thyroid tested, you know, actually fairly recently, And anytime it's been tested, it comes back normal for that. Let's see. Anita says, I have weight issues the other direction. I can't gain, only weigh 98 pounds. The funny thing is, I wish that was my issue. Because there's some people that, they can eat anything and they never gain weight. Melanie says, whips, shell scarf, doily, butterflies, several others. Ooh. And yeah, y'all finish projects? Send them pictures in. I have a finished projects video that I do once a month. And then I also have other things that you can send pictures for. And what I've started doing, I've started putting it in the description box when I do my videos. That way, y'all have easy access to know what y'all can send pictures for. And I also will post periodically on my community page that information and my Facebook group. Cindy says, prayers for us all for sure. I hate fluid retention. I have that issue right now too. Yeah, because I have to take fluid pills. It's like fluid retention is no fun. And I've had it like, okay, if I don't watch what I'm eating, like I will gain like 10 pounds in a week. Especially like if I eat too much salt. Let's see, Darcia says, Anita, I'm with you. People don't seem to understand that for some, losing weight or not gaining is just as bad as being overweight. I haven't been able to go over 92 for 10 years. Yeah, and I do know people that are like that, and they're like, they try to put on weight and they can't. And there's some level that, a lot of times all of us have some form of issue with weight. Because when I used to go to Weight Watchers, the leader, she was saying how one time she was at a meeting and she overheard some other ladies talking about her, basically saying, what is she doing here? She don't need to lose weight. But what they didn't realize was she had lost like 85 pounds from doing Weight Watchers. And her leader overheard the people and basically had her tell everybody how much weight she lost. And those ladies that were talking about her, their mouths dropped. So you never really know someone's situation. And 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 I don't like the stigma that comes with like being overweight, because a lot of stuff with like weight, some of it is really how your brain's wired. Um and it's like, I know, like for me, I I've yo-yoed with my weight, lost a lot of weight several times. I would I used to exercise a lot, and you know it just, the weight always finds me again. Let's see, Lorley says, I was skinny till about the last 5 years. Now I have the grandma abdomen, though I eat the same. And your metabolism changes too a lot of times. But yeah, and what's funny is that, like, in about the last 3 years, it's like my weight went up again, and it's like, and the sad thing is I need to get motivated to try to get it back down, but I haven't been able to find my motivation when it comes to it. Melanie says weight has been an issue, but after, I guess, California, I have lymphedema. So along with vocal cord disorder, so can't breathe normal as vocal cords shut down or work opposite as normal. Aw, I'm sorry to hear you're having those issues. Let's see. Anita says that she's sure that Dorsey has heard all the a good wind will blow you away or someone is pushing you away from the table. But yeah, unfortunately, a lot of times people don't think when they speak. They really don't. Dorcia says most people would never comment on someone being heavy, but they have no problem telling people they are too skinny, usually very rudely too. Actually, I find people attack people for being heavy too. I mean, I've gotten attacked for it. And I just, I don't know. I feel like, it don't attack someone for their size. Just don't do it. You know, it's what's in the inside of a person that truly matters. And Lori's saying underweight is just as dangerous as overweight, if not more, so it can actually cause heart issues for being underweight. Yeah, and you could also be malnourished sometimes too. And Anita says, yes, and all pregnancies are at risk. And that's one thing. Um, I have like I have been asked so many times in my life if I was pregnant. Um, because I've always tended to have some, a stomach. And I'm just like, don't ask someone if they're pregnant because if they're not pregnant, you just stuck your foot in your mouth. um, I always like wait for that person to tell me. Even if I suspect it, I won't say nothing because I know what it's like when someone did that to me, and it's just like no. Let's see, Laura Lee says my thyroid is normal too, but I have all the symptoms. I want a full thyroid workup because just a T3 result can be deceptive. And I'll have her too that you could have thyroid issues. Um, and when you go get tested, your thyroid was acting normal at that time. But you could go like a couple of days later and it can detect that there's thyroid issues. So you never know. Let's see. Melanie says, I take 2 diuretics daily. Me too. Have to watch my sodium due to heart condition too. Wicked circle. Yeah, it is. It really is. Let's see. All right, yeah. If y'all can, let's help Cindy with Lulu's Treasure Trove out. So yeah, go check out her channel if y'all haven't already. Laura Lee says there is insulin resistance, but there is also thyroid resistance. The levels are normal, but the body is resistant to the thyroid hormone. And that's another thing too. Like sometimes when people are overweight, sometimes it's a medical condition. You know, so you really don't know what's going on unless you've walked in someone else's shoes. Because I know, like for instance, and this is something that I was guilty of when I was younger. Like, when people have back issues, you really don't understand it until it happens to you. Because, a lot of times people think, oh, just push through it. And but the thing is, when you're hurting like that, you can't always push through it. Um, because I mean, I know, like, now I have issues with my back. Um, which, like, for me, I know I have arthritis in my back. My doctor suspects I have sciatica. And then it also looks like I probably have fibromyalgia. Um, but I did finally find something that works with the fibro, so that hasn't been acting up as bad. But you know, and and back pain hurts. It really does. Or like some of the conditions people have that aren't obvious, and people don't seem to recognize that they really have the issues that they do. Um, and that's another thing, because just because someone looks okay doesn't mean that there's not anything going on with them. And let's see, Melanie says, I just decided that if I'm comfortable or hubby loves me as I am, then I'm okay. Everyone is different. Yeah, and really that's how I feel now. It's like, Frank's a person that matters. He's fine with me as I am, and he's the main one that matters to me. And let's see, Anita says, that is a very good example of not judging someone on their looks. It's what's inside that's important. Exactly. You know, because it's what's inside that really matters. It really is, how you treat others. You know, let's see. Okay, Melanie's saying CA was cancer. Oh, let's see. And Dorothea says, I think most women have issues with their weight because of images and messages we are bombarded with. And that's true too. And the funny, well, not really funny, but like a lot of these people, like, in Hollywood and on TV and stuff, a lot of them are underweight. But we're that's like forced on us. And where people seem to think that, you know, they're 5 pounds overweight and they're like, oh, I'm overweight. And, it shouldn't be like that. It really shouldn't. Um, and like I said, and a lot of these people, they're doing unhealthy things to be at that weight, your famous people and all. um, so and it does, because you see that all the time. Someone that there's, you know, they're the perfect size, they really are, you know, and yet they feel like they need to lose weight and things like that. And it's just like, I'm like, we went for Yorty talks just talking about weight issues, going both directions. And Sherry saying it's hard when you are single. Most guys want Twiggy. I don't know why, because I wouldn't want a beanpole size guy. And I agree with that. Because back when I was younger and all and single, how many times guys, because if you were overweight, they didn't want to date you, and it shouldn't be like that. It really shouldn't. Um, and one time, and this is funny. There was this guy that I had talked to on the internet, And we decided to meet up in a public place, and he told me he would be wearing a certain type of shirt. And I think he kind of like previously he kind of asked about like what size I was or what I weighed or something like that. So, I get there and I'm pretty sure I saw him, but it was like he sped off. And, and I'm trying to, track him down again and I never could find him. Um, so then like when I got home, I was like, I think I may have seen you, but I'm not sure. And then he claimed that he didn't go. And then it was like, he basically stopped talking to me online. And it was like, I knew that he saw me and probably thought I was too large for him. And the sad thing is, and I'm really not trying to be mean saying this, but this was not an attractive guy. And it's like sometimes it seems like, you know, people that aren't attractive, it's like they want perfect. And it don't work that way. Let's see. Lori says, yes, I've even had a doctor attack me verbally for it. And he was having himself, needless to say, he's no longer my doctor. Yeah. And that is something that is like bad when it comes to doctors. I know like there's a level where a lot of why they attack weight is because it does create health problems. And there's some level where they kind of have to on some level because like especially like cardiologists, they tend to try to get you to lose weight first before they move on to finding other solutions for like your heart issues and stuff. But the thing is, I know I don't like it when doctors do that. And like my doctor, he has like, my regular physician, he has never brought up my weight, which in a lot of aspects I love. but but the sad thing, and I kind of felt like he should have addressed this though at one point, because when my weight started going back up, you know, I gained quite a bit of weight in a shorter period of time. And every time I would go to the doctor, of course I was scared he would bring it up. And, and I'm expecting him to, and he never did. And, it got to the point where I brought it up, you know, and then he started looking, he's like, yeah, you have. And he's like, yeah, that's not normal. And it's like, but, you know, so it can be a good thing and a bad thing. But I know most people don't like when they go, say lose weight, lose weight. And Dorothy is saying that's horrible. People can be so mean, unnecessary. So true. And this is how I feel. Think about other people's feelings. Would you want someone treating you that way? You know, and just don't, you know, be kind to everybody. Let's see. Sherry says if someone attacks a person because of their body size, they must have a pretty dark inner core. And really, and there's other things too. People will attack people for that. You know, but I think sometimes I think that comes from too, like they've had some type of experience, or they weren't taught to be kind. Like if someone's parents or putting down others, you know, a kid's going to learn that. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, always be kind. And you know, and even like if you don't particularly care for somebody, if you don't have anything nice to say, just don't say anything at all. Dorothea says, I got smaller after each pregnancy. From for not oh, she got sick a lot for 9 months. Let's see. Melanie says, yes, it's sad when a person has to tear someone else down just to feel better about themselves. And that's part of it too, you know. Let's see. Oh, Zola joined us. How are you doing today? And what are you working on? And she's even saying your size has nothing to do with your personality. Love you just the way you are. Aw, thanks. but yeah, to me, I always feel like personality is the most important thing. What? I've been on a soapbox kick. I'm like, normally I do my lives for an hour and a half, and we're almost at 2 hours. And I still need to do the little the giveaway. And Lori's saying she's down to a low level of Lasix. And let's see. Dorothy says, that is what is great about the crafting community. We all seem accepting and supportive of others. Yeah, like one thing, like, you know, when it comes to my channel, you know, like I said, you know, don't be mean to someone else on my channel, you know. I won't tolerate it. Um, you know, which I've never had that issue on my channel, but you know, but I feel like this, like say someone's in the chat that you don't care for whatever reason, you know, don't attack them, you know, that will get y'all in trouble if y'all do that. But you know, you basically have two options. Like I said, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all, or just sit, you know, that live out, you know. But yeah, you know, and that's one thing, you know, I don't like it when others like talk bad about someone else, you know. I don't like that. Let's see. Zola says she agrees. And even Melanie saying looks have nothing to do with how you are inside. And Cindy says, yes, my size has everything to do with medical issues right now. That is so true. Very, very true. You cannot always just push through it. And if you do, it may take years to push through. Yeah, because I mean, I'm going to share something with y'all that I experienced. And I may have mentioned this early on when I first started my channel. But, you know, I have diastolic dysfunction, which is a form of heart failure. And the thing was that like I think about 7 years ago, I got really sick, and I ended up in the hospital. And initially, I was in the ICU, and that's when they pumped out the 70 pounds of fluid. And like at that point, I could barely get around. Um, you know, barely could walk. And after like they pumped out the fluid and stuff, it basically, things started changing where I could do more again. And it's like, where most people wouldn't really understand how it was affecting me. um and basically, like, I kind of had to relearn, like, building my stamina up walking. where like I would like when I first got out of the hospital, I would walk around the neighborhood and I'm like walking basically to the stop sign and back. And there were times that I had to stop. And it wasn't that I was out of breath. Because initially that was part of the problem was the short of breath. Um but so I had to like push myself to get back to, being more normal. But so like I said, you don't know what's going on with someone else. And let's see. Where was I? Laura Lee says she's been fighting fibro for 30 plus years, plus the lupus and all the other getting older aches and pains. Yeah, and you see with me, when I take Zoloft, taking Zoloft has helped me with fibro. Um, and it's kind of weird how that works. So that's where it does really look like it's fibro that I have. But that's worked for me with it because like me and Frank started looking at stuff, looking up information on it, and that's one thing that they said was antidepressants tend to help it. So my doctor put me on one, and it's made a big difference with my back. And like, it's kind of funny how that works. Let's see, Lori says, yes, that's how I feel too. I'm smaller now than when my husband met me, so I know he's all right with me. Yeah. Oh. And really, like, whenever Frank met me, that was like when, I had lost a lot of weight. But, but Frank accepts me for who I am. Let's see. Melanie says, but you look at the stores, celebrities that have trainers do fad diets to get weight off, then gain it right back. Very unhealthy. Yeah, they go through a lot. And then the sad thing is, if they're at what's considered a normal weight, like a healthy weight, then in Hollywood they're considered overweight. Let's see. All right, Laura Lee, I hope you have a good day. And let's see. Oh, yeah, that is true. Normally, I finish my lives before D, before Granny D, and I'm running into her live. Let's see. Let me try to wrap things up quickly. Let's see. I'm just skimming the comments right now. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, Charity, I hope you feel better with your sinus pressure. Um, I, I've been having a lot of trouble with that too lately. Because like here it's been raining like every day, and then it don't help either that Allie's always wanting to be on me, and her fur tends to trigger my allergies and sinuses. Oh, I hope everything's going to be okay, Lisa. I hope everything goes well with your surgery. Let's see. Like I said, I'm just kind of skimming so I can get things wrapped up because I'm getting too far behind on the chat. Okay. Yeah, I think some of y'all have started leaving. For those that have left already, I hope y'all all have a good day. Yeah, because I know usually people start heading over to Granny D's at 2. So after I do this giveaway, those that are still here, y'all can go alien invade Granny D. Let's see. Nightbot. Let me get all logged in. Giveaways. Okay. All right, let me share the screen now. But two things I do want to mention real quick. If y'all don't know this already, I am changing the time that I'm doing my Thursday lives, the Coffee with Connie lives, due to Frank's home health care schedule. So I'm now doing my Thursday lives at 11:30 a.m. Central Standard Time instead of 10:30. I'm pushing it back an hour. And the 5 Yarnaholics live tomorrow is being canceled. Um, Unfortunately, too many people are out again. Um, so we know at least 2 won't be able to make it, and a third one would probably only be there a short time. So we felt it was best to cancel, and we're gonna wait till it's time for September's live, and hopefully we're able to get the live to happen then. Okay, so what keywords should I use? Well, I'm looking at Allie, so I'm going to use the word gray and spell it Grey. So gray is the keyword. So if you want to be entered to win all of my patterns from my Ravelry store, type gray and hold up, I forgot to put start. Okay, so start now. Gray is the keyword, and this is open for everybody. Okay, Melanie, if you need help with how to do live, send me an email and I can work with you to help you with what you need to do. Yeah, Dorothy, there are a lot of lives because even since I started going live, there's a lot more people going live now than back then. And then one thing I started thinking about, I'm like, hopefully I didn't push it back that it interferes with anybody. But on some level, you're always going to overlap somebody. But hopefully that don't. All right. Type gray if you want to be entered. Okay. I'm going to give it 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and stop. And I see Kivia just joined us. How are you today, Kivia? And what are you working on? Yeah, we're getting towards the end of today's live. So I hope you can watch the replay. All right. The winner of all my patterns from my Ravelry store is Sherry Knowles. So congratulations, Sherry. You are the winner, and you will need to email me at justanotherstitch2020@gmail.com. I have my email on the screen right here. It's also on my about page and in the description box of all my videos, except Monday's lives. I have too many links that I put in Monday's live to fit in my email. But yeah, send me an email and I'll get those patterns out to you. Let's see. There was something else I wanted to bring up real quick. Oh, what was it? Oh, there was something I wanted to mention, and now it's going to drive me crazy. Give me a minute. Let me think. Oh, gee. What was it? And I cannot think of what I wanted to mention. I'm trying to think real quick before I tell y'all bye. What was it? I know there was something. Well, if it comes back to me, I may just have to post it on my community page, because it don't seem to be coming back to me. Yeah, I did bring that up at the towards the beginning of the live. Y'all can submit pictures for 6 weighted yarn projects. I need those pictures though by the end of today because I'll be working on that video tomorrow. Then, of course, the finished objects pictures, and then I'm also looking for pictures of fall makes too. Yeah. Melanie, send me an email so we can talk about like helping you get prepared to go live. And anything with like pictures, send them to me via email. And really a lot of times like anything like most things I tend to ask that y'all email me for, because especially when I'm live, by the end of my live, I tend to have forgotten. And sometimes I've even like, I'll write it down and I forget that I had something that I wrote down. So that's why I usually say like, it's best to send me emails on certain things because it reminds me so I don't forget something. But yeah, there was something else. Oh, I remember. Um, I was going to remind everybody about my giveaways that's going on. My August giveaway, there's still a few more days to enter. So if y'all haven't entered that giveaway yet, go check that out. I'm giving away some yarn and stitch markers for it. And then I also have my pattern bundle giveaway going on too, with all my patterns. And there'll be 3 winners for that giveaway. I think that one ends on like around the 7th. But yeah, there's still time to enter that giveaway. So yay, I remembered. All right, y'all. For real, I'm getting off. So go alien invade Granny D if y'all can. Sorry. And I hope y'all all have. Hold up. Okay, I'm so sorry about that. All right, so I hope y'all all have a fabulous yarny day. Be the light and bye.